bear food. Education tried to give me language, but grief rewrote my grammar. I learned to read faces before books, to calculate danger faster than sums, to understand that survival is also a curriculum passed down in bruises and warnings. Paya masika, dipepenja shaladini chachini, ya ile ubelewa, achatwa kama dia pilili nong, muki fitangona, umzaukati, umukhekulu mukhalabe, uko ulatsila, uripile swani fite, rabadia. Ulumula yanda mulai, lemula la madina mutu. On the day I returned from the mountains, carrying fire on my back, in front of me is an ocean of men and women planting their eyes into the sandbar. I feel it. I feel it in my heart. My soul is shaking. It is not even dancing to the celebration of my return as a man. In front of me, on top of this ocean of men and women, the sky is pregnant with a black huge cloud. This is pain, I know. The earth is dry. Animals are dying. It is a confirmation that our departure to the mountains was not a blessed one. Why are these animals dead? See, where I come from, I was taught that the black cloud brings nothing but it bears tears. Where women to ululate and welcome us back into our homes. Where is my mother? Because I can smell death. I tried to open my mouth, but I can almost taste it with my tongue. Mutswadi waka ukae. So for a moment, I forgot I'm with these other boys. No, we are called men now. Rebanna jwache, somuditi, ikankata. The man who leads us in the mountains stops us from singing. Silence, sing. So we are walking closer in silence. I can hear everyone's footsteps. And after a while, we stopped. And to see where we are standing, I can see clearly now that the stream of these women and men leads directly to my home. But why are they washing their hands before they enter my home? I cannot say anything because our leader has commanded silence. So he tells us to walk closer in silence. He tells us to hide our faces with the blankets. So he continues speaking. I want to listen to him, but I cannot hear him as he speaks clearly. So now the darkness is just in front of my face under the blanket. So I can't breathe. I can't see anything. The thoughts are in my head. The promise of the mountains is like to the mama. The vibration of my screams came back to me. They penetrated my skin while all these young men hid their faces with the blankets. So the storm in me erupted, and the evidence to that is the soul that I touched on my tongue and a stream of tears in my left eye. So words came into my head that was the one who chose this life. Now enjoy it as a man. What man? What man? Because a month ago I was a boy. Kgwedi tše di fetilego ke be ke bina le ngwedi le dinaledi ka gore nna ke be ke ipotsa gore ngwedi dinaledi metse le moya re ntwa tee ya ga go ba mošimane ya ga go theletša dinonwane tša banna ba ba ile go baya magweng ba boa ba tlo šomela malapa a bona ya ga go theletša dithai tša motswadi wa tai, manaka, monna motele lo chulo ka ditete, ke eng manaka, ke kerese mama, manaka, are tai, ya no ke manaka, inonne, e bua e hotile, ke eng manaka. Sisi baba, kino are tai, bana ba kuku, ba permi ngatsi go tshwana manaka, ke eng manaka, ke mentšhisi, are tai, Thai manaka pota kamo pote kamo kita ko pana kopi kino manaka kele pana to ma hiya Thai 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 Kalawaka tot Beli musipili Kala kitse ho ba sepela ho ba chaba maikarabelo a ho ba monna. There's a trace of children as his footsteps. Our leader commands us to go closer in silence. The rule is, if you are the firstborn child or the only son in the family, you are the first to enter and purify homes of other men. So in my head, I'm searching for myself. I'm struggling to find me because I cannot identify with the names that they gave me there. You see, I'm not one with this element, but we walked this path before. Maybe I lost myself there, or I lost myself there, or here. I just want to find myself before entering my home. But you see, when agony has fallen on top of you, the battle becomes impossible to win. So I'm standing here and I'm trying to assemble an army of my spiritual lineage. Because alone I can't. I'm here. I'm at the gate. I'm with this other man. And from a distance, I see my father. Now the crowd is roaring. This would only mean one thing. Imam. Imam. So I don't need them to spell it out to me. But there is written all over their faces. And the only thing that can confirm my return is their names, is the mountain names. But what is my name? Zila. Wana mewile marugurugu na mutaka ina maga itopa mutalata na tseleng aswa kala kenna wana ukatile kibo kubile bokwena sitanga na sitwa bokwena sela la tsikatadile malala sona sinka malala nuka subele. Now in front of me, the stream of these women and men has shrunk. But once arrived like a river feed, voices, dust, singing, is now settled into a small lake in my mother's yard. So they come closer to each other. Their shoulders are touching. The bread is mixing. Stories are folding into stories. The poets breathe in the fire. The smoke climbs slowly, like a prayer that is learning patience. I stand at the edge of it all as I watch life arrange itself without asking me where I belong. The mountains have not left me. My last days in the mountains still lives in my body. The food was different. It did not come with names or memories or my mother's voice calling me from another world. So there were no plates in the mountains, no spoons. So we ate in the palms of our hands. Food in the mountains passed quickly without any ceremony. So you ate before thinking. You swallowed before you could even feel. Now the body stretches. The body remembers. The body obeys. You see on the mountains, hunger is not an enemy. It is your teacher. Pain is not cruel. It is precise. Silence in the mountains speaks louder than words in the night. Eating with no instructions, sleeping with no fear of dawn. And all I ever wanted to see was my mother. All I ever wanted to see was my mother. The elders' voices fell into echoes. I carried her inside me. I remembered her hands, gentle, cracked, strong, hands that does not rush love, hands that knows when food needs more salt, hands that knows when a child needs more time. But love is not rushed in the mountains either. It waits. It withholds. They say I went to the mountains to become a man. They say I've returned into a changed world. I feel it in the way they look at me now. As if my shoulders should answer questions my mouth is not allowed to ask. They carefully study my silence. They nod, satisfied, as if something has been confirmed. The food is served on small plates, each plate placed like an offering. So I watch the plate move from hand to hand, but something inside me tightens, because my hands remember something else. They remember heat and ash. They remember sharing without permission. They remember eating to survive, not to belong. See, on the mountains, the hand is enough. But here, the hand must learn manners again. And now I'm in front of the yard. Yet I feel like a visitor in my own name. The ground underneath me feels different. The sound distant, like a song I used to know. But something inside me is still living. Is this the rite of passage? Is this how men are done? They tell me to walk in the yard. They tell me to hide my face with the blankets. Their voices are kind, but my body waits for a command that does not come. You see, on the mountains, every movement has a reason. Every step is watched, and every mistake is remembered by the body long after the mind has forgotten. Here freedom feels heavy as I begin to search for my mother among the faces, but I do not find her. She does not appear in the faces that are in front of me, and now I slowly remember in my head as it counting the days when I was away, as if listening to the boy who left. So I want to feel welcome, but distant, pride and moaning. She knows I've been broken and remade. She knows the mountains does not return sons the way it receives them. See, I want to run to a room and kneel in front of her and tell her, Mama, now go home, ke bone boloi, ke bone khabu ya mollo, ke bone bogolo ba bateng ba rena. But men do not speak fear aloud. We learn to swallow words the same way we swallow food in the mountains, quickly, quietly, without any complaint. And now the make of this people shivers. The fire crackles. Life continues its journey, stubborn and beautiful. Yet inside me, the mountain still stands tall. It is watching, it is testing. I now understand that the mountains have not left me. My last days in the mountains still lives in my body. It is in the way I pause before I eat, in the way I listen more than I speak, and as the dust touches my tongue, I pray quiet. Not to the mountains, not to the stars, but to the hands that raised me, that I may learn how to live in this world I pretend to. My foreskin is removed. The wound is healed by time and through ritual, but at the end, Raduela, we do not fall. We arrive as men without losing the boy who went away, only wanting to see his mother on his return. Now I'm inside the yard. My feet know this ground, but my heart does not recognize it. The dust clings closer to me, like it is trying to remember who I am. I returned for my mother. My mother knew my footsteps before I reached the gate. My mother called my name without speaking it. My mother was the first home I ever knew, taken by the soil, held in the dark palms of the earth. She became earth, but water awaits her return. And now here, in the yard of my bed, these people are eating. They say this is tradition. They say food must be shared, so death does not grow jealous. They say the living must be fed, so they remember to stay. I hear them, and I respect them, but my chest is tight. My grief has no language that fits in these rooms. My heart is screaming while my mouth is trained to be quiet. I stand among them like a shadow, and no one asks me to cry. No one asks me to sit down. They look at me with eyes that measure that he has returned from the mountains. Their silence says he must know how to carry this, but no one taught me how to bury a mother. No ritual prepared me for this kind of loss. Is this the rite of passage? Is this what it means? To lose the one who gave you breath and still stand upright? To feel your chest collapsing while your face remains still? To greet elders with the respect while your soul is on its knees? I want to run to a room and sit on her bed and call her name like a child who believes answers are guaranteed. But tradition holds my wrist tightly. It says not now. It says a man must wait. It says a man must be strong. But strength feels heavy today. Movement. It stays in my chest, pacing, restless. The men speak of order. They speak of how things must be done, how things have always been done. I hear them. Their voices are calm and steady, like reapers that have accepted their pay. Now I begin to understand that this eating is not joy, it is defiance. It is the living saying to death, you have taken one of us, but you will not take us all. Yet still my heart aches, because the one taken was my mother, the one taken was my shelter, the one taken was the voice that knew me before I knew myself. No mountain prepared me for this loss, no initiation taught me to live in a world where her voice is memory. Go on, woman, now. Because if manhood is this moment, and it is painful, if it is this silence, and it is wrong, if it is this responsibility to carry grief without spilling it, then it is heavier than any stone I ever lifted on the mountains. I feel every eye on me. I feel my ancestors being close. I take the first step in the bow. My back bends, not because of water, not because of the mountains, but because this feels like a betrayal. And yet I cleanse. I cleanse because life insists. I cleanse because my mother died so many times and she would not want me to waken on this day. And now begin to understand that this is the passage, not the mountains, not the skies, but this moment, standing in the yard of my bed, breathing and breathing at the same time, choosing to carry my mouth forward, and my blood, and my bones, and my heart, my spirit. And now inside the yard, I'm no longer a stranger. I'm a son in movement. I'm a man being born through laws. I now understand. This is the passage. This is the passage. An old woman comes to me. She approaches me. She tells me to sit down. So I sat down. She leans closer to me. And she whispers at me. Because I'm hoping she can say something else, but silence arrives first. And I begin to understand that my mother is an angel, that my mother has returned back home, that my mother is an angel. Manaka, Mahu, Wilemoyaka, Manaka, Mahu, Wilemoyabatu, Manaka, Mahu, Wilemoyabatu, Manaka, Mahu. Mama,